last time I took pictures on this background, you guys haven't seen it yet on YouTube, but my Instagram has definitely seen it. But I didn't have studio lights last time I used this yellow, but baby, this yellow is hitting different with these studio lights, okay? I'm looking a little melanin, I'm looking a little chocolate. I'm giving you sunny side up. I'm giving you chocolate that doesn't melt. I'm giving you summer, summer, summertime, okay? Roll the intro.
Yeah. Shout out to Christmas.
What's good in the hood? What's popping with the hustlers and the homies? Welcome back to the Coffee Cream Girl channel. I'm super excited to be back up. So last week when I recorded my top 5 worst graphic design clients, I got a couple of comments asking about my graphic design business, the programs that I use. I had a different video scheduled on my board to record, but I just thought it would be a super dope opportunity to do my first Q&A about my graphic design business. If you don't know already and you're new to this channel, then first off, make sure that you click the subscribe button down below. But if you don't know, I own my own graphic design business, Coffee Shop Graphics. I'm now a full-time freelance graphic designer, and I actually started this journey back in October, so I'm coming up on 9 months, man. But for a new business owner, I'm only 22, and the success that I've seen in the last couple of months has been super substantial. If you guys don't know my background story and you haven't seen any of the previous videos on my channel, and you guys know I was an HBCU student, I attended college and I ended up leaving in 2018. I did not graduate. I came home for mental health reasons, for personal reasons, and I just went on a journey of self-discovery. But college is really what put me on the pathway to graphic design, videography, and photography. So I'm super happy that I took the opportunity to go to school because it introduced me to what I do full-time now. I had a job when I came home from school. I was working as a receptionist at a hair salon, but once I got let go of that position, I just decided to stick to something wholeheartedly, to create the discipline, to create the content, man, and to really try to pursue graphic design, videography, photography, and influencing full-time. And that's what I've been doing full-time for the last couple of months. If you don't follow me already, then I'll make sure I put my social media information down below in the description box. But I put a Q&A up on my Instagram asking you guys what questions did you want to know about my graphic design business. And so I'm gonna take this video to answer all of the questions that I got from you guys. I got about maybe 10, so yeah, hopefully this video isn't too long. I'm gonna try to be thorough with the questions that I did get. Even though I don't have the biggest following in the world, I want to make sure that I pass on the knowledge to anybody that's interested in pursuing this as a career and as a lifestyle, because it's already challenging enough being an entrepreneur. But the least that I could do is share the success and the tips that I've already learned myself and from other successful graphic designers thus far, so that you guys can be successful on your journey too. Okay, cool, so let's start it. Okay, so the first question that I got was from Andrea, and she asked me, hey Alice, can you make a video on how you got into graphic design and what programs that you use? I love your content. Oh, thank you, I love you too. So pretty much how, the first question was what? Oh, how I got into graphic design. So yeah, I attended the HBCU. For you guys that aren't new to my channel, then you already know I went to Langston University. And pretty much when I started off in school, I was a biology major. So my goal was to go to Langston, get my biology degree, and then I was gonna go to Meharry and become a dentist. So a lot of the big homies that I had at Langston University my freshman and my sophomore year were graphic designers. And also my work study program, my sophomore year, I believe, was actually in the public relations department. A lot of people that I was cool with on campus were broadcast journalism majors, and they were super inept in programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, and just, you know, videography and photography as a whole. And then doing work study under PR, under Brendan Clemens. I got to watch him pretty much take pictures all the time and do Photoshop. Starting off with that love of videography and content creation, that kind of just spawned into what it is that I do now. I didn't start off in graphic design. A lot of people start in graphic design or they start in photography. I started off really just loving YouTube. I had watched YouTube my entire life through high school. That's how I learned how to do my face. And I knew I wanted to start a YouTube channel, so when I started in my sophomore year, I took the skills from my own personal YouTube channel and I poured it into a show that we had on campus called In the Loop, and I became an editor on that show, and then somehow worked my way up from editor and recorder to the lead co-host on the show. So then doing that, I was doing hosting, editing, videography. Throughout my college experience, I kind of just leveled up every single year in graphic design, in videography, and then I would kind of just do it whenever I needed money in between periods that I didn't have a job. So a lot of my bigger clients that I still have to this day, back when I didn't have the programs that I use now, I would just design on this website called Be Funky. and so I would just design their stuff. They would let me design it for free, and I built up that kind of client base. And then whenever I didn't have money, or like when I would come home from school, or when I just had a lot of free time, I would just take on little graphic design projects for probably like $35, not too much more than maybe like 60 bucks at the most, and I would just design as much as I could. So when I left school and I was working at the hair salon, the owner of the shop figured out that I knew how to do graphic design, social media, and like branding content, and so I ended up managing her social media for the 8 or 9 months that I was working for her, and that really helped me build up my portfolio. And then right when she let me go in October, instead of getting another job, I kind of just buckled down and I made the decision that I always go back to videography and graphic design, and now starting off photography because I love it and I genuinely just kind of have a passion for it, not because I just needed the money, but it's something that I've always kind of just done from high school all the way up and through college. And so yeah, when she let me go from her shop, I just ultimately made the decision to do it full time, to like really put in the work and start the brand, start the company, and do it full time. And then the second part of Andrea's question was, what programs do I use? So when it comes to designing intros and videography content for my YouTube channel, right now I'm still in Filmora, which I definitely would recommend for anybody that's starting on YouTube and wants a higher quality software than iMovie, but doesn't necessarily have Final Cut or Adobe Premiere money yet. You can get a lifetime subscription to Wondershare, and it comes with amazing and dope effects that you can see popular YouTubers use all the time for only 60 bucks. And that's way more affordable than, you know, the $300 leap or the $50 a month leap for Creative Cloud. So it's really kind of just based off of your preference, but I would definitely suggest if you're starting a YouTube channel and you need something that's quick, easy, but you can get some really dope effects out of it, I would definitely recommend Filmora, and I'll put the link down to their website if you want to download that software below. But as far as my graphic design, I do everything that I do with Photoshop. I'm about to teach myself how to do Illustrator, and I'm also going to teach myself how to work into higher editing softwares like Premiere and Final Cut, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. So to answer your question short, Photoshop and Filmora, that's pretty much what I use on a day-to-day basis. The second question that I got is from Sierra Jewel, and she said, hey, can you make a video about how you grow your clientele? My graphic design services have been open for business for about 2 months and I've gotten nothing. So of course this whole video is dedicated to that, but I can't tell you how I got my clientele up. So I told you that when I didn't really have money, I would just design for my friends that were YouTubers. So pretty much when I started YouTube, there would be like these big YouTuber group meets where black HBCU YouTubers would get together and we would just talk about our content and, you know, share our videos with each other to help get engagement up. And so in that, especially when I first started doing graphic design, even at the top of 2018, right when I left school and I was doing it right before I got my salon job, I really would just reach out to people that were putting out dope content but didn't necessarily have the biggest following. And I know that this generation is super against the word that I'm finna say, but I would do projects for free. What? You was designing for free? Yes. Back then I didn't have Photoshop, I didn't have a super big clientele, so I would just find people that legitimately I liked their content, and I just kind of tell that they would blow up one day because of their consistency and their creativity. And I would just say, hey man, can I design something for you? Can I do your Twitter banner? Can I do your YouTube intro? Can I design you like a logo for your influence in the XYZ? And of course people never turn down free stuff. Now some of my bigger clients like Curly Bev, Brilliant Barbie, Cinderella OG, I designed for them back when I really didn't have any super dope equipment like I do now. I would just reach out to them and they let me design their stuff for free. So I would definitely suggest if you're trying to build your clientele, then reach out to a couple of your friends or a couple of people that you know that are starting businesses and say, hey man, can I design a logo for you? Can I design your business cards? And as you grow, as they share your, it's kind of almost like being a brand ambassador but for graphic design. So that's pretty much what I called it. They were my brand ambassadors, but they were representing my graphic design work, and of course they had bigger following than me at that time, so they promoted me for me, and then people would just kind of come to me. So that's pretty much how I built a solid clientele base. Was I started doing free projects, and then once the word got out about me, you know what I'm saying, I charged what I could to afford better stuff, and then I pretty much just kept using that ladder. So when I get a bigger clientele, then I might adjust my prices a little bit so that it makes it easier for me to afford the stuff that I want to afford, to be able to do even higher quality content and higher quality creation. And that ladder just has continued to work for me. It's really a blessing. Okay, so the next question that I got on my Instagram was, what is the process of actually registering your business to be an LLC? It doesn't have to be in detail. Okay, well, I'm happy it doesn't have to be in detail because it was rather quick. One of my graphic design sisters, my GD sisters, Natural Boss Branding, Kiara Nelson, if you guys don't know her, she's one of the dopest designers out, and she currently attends NCAT, and she is the owner of Natural Boss Branding. So she put me onto a website called ZenBusiness, and pretty much what ZenBusiness does is they are a middleman for LLCs, and the registration process is super easy. It probably took me about 5 minutes. You enter your name, you enter your state, you enter the name that you want for your business to have, you know what I'm saying, where you want for the information to be sent, and you pay the money that your state fee requires for LLC. It probably took me anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and I actually have a link to my ZenBusiness. Not a sponsor link, but if you use the link that I put down in my description box, then you'll get a $25 Amazon gift card. So pretty much she put me on, and she got a $25 gift card for me registering, and then I got a $25 gift card for me registering myself. So pretty much, yeah, in Texas, LLC is $300, so I ended up paying $310. ZenBusiness offers a $10 fee that's added on to the $300 that you pay for your LLC for them to manage your paperwork, keep up with your paperwork, and also help you with your finances as you start with your LLC. And I definitely thought that was worth the extra 10 bucks. So that's pretty much how I did it. So if you want to start your LLC or you want to purchase your LLC, then I'll put the link down below in my description box if you guys are interested in doing that. How did you get people to take your craft seriously? A lot of people said this was a good question in my DM, so shout out to who asked that question. But it's really a matter, it's not really about people taking you seriously. People take you seriously when you take yourself seriously. It's pretty much as straightforward as that. I feel like people started taking me serious as a graphic designer when I started seriously taking myself as a graphic designer, if that makes sense. Like when I started promoting myself, when I started promoting my work, when I started promoting my client work, when I started the business page, when I purchased the LLC, when I launched my website. Steps that I took to take myself from a beginner into the actual business world, people could just tell that I was taking myself seriously. So of course they started treating me with that same level of respect. So I would say don't really pay attention to whether or not people take you seriously. Take yourself seriously. Put in the discipline, put in the work, create the content, build up the clientele base, launch the website, do all of the steps that you know to do to be a successful business or influencer. And then as the success comes with taking yourself seriously and the discipline that you create in that lifestyle, people will automatically have to take you seriously. People can't take me as a joke when I do this full time and my bills are paid based off of this, and I live the lifestyle that I live based off of what it is that I do. Now of course, if I'm saying it, you know, once a month and I never post my client work, and you know what I'm saying, people don't have good reviews about me and I'm not consistently working, then people don't really have a reason to take me seriously. But when I work as hard as I do, you have to. You have an onboarding process, and what's that like? So if you're not a graphic designer currently, or you're getting into graphic design recently and you don't know what onboarding is, onboarding means is that, do I have a process for vetting my clients? At least I think that's what you mean. So pretty much like, do I vet my clients? Do I do phone calls with them to see whether or not I want to work with them? And to answer the question, currently I do not have an onboarding process. My website, Coffee Shop Graphics, I designed it in a way that I wanted to make graphic design services available pretty much the same way that you would purchase clothes off of a website. I want it to be super easy, super low maintenance, super accessible to anybody that doesn't have prior knowledge in graphic design. So I don't call people before they order from me. People pretty much just purchase through the website. I pretty much just design and ship out orders based off of what's ordered off the website, like if they were shades or shoes or anything else. So I kind of like that. I have had one issue recently since I started, but out of 9 months having one problem out of one person, I think that's actually pretty good. So I've definitely been thinking about, as I build up my graphic design company, especially as I start bringing on more people onto my media team, I might try to start an onboarding process for things like retainer services, or maybe like full branding services, where I'm starting off with someone and I'm designing their logos, their business cards, their shipping mailers, and I also have a media team to do like their photo shoots and their videography shoots and stuff like that. I definitely think I will want to do an onboarding process for extremely long-term clients. But as far as like really small projects like business cards or shipping mailers, where it's one project for one client, or a digital flyer from somebody who heard about me from their friend, I don't really feel the need to like vet people like that, just because it's pretty much a basic transaction and I don't feel like I need to know you as a person to be able to design for you. So the next question is, how did you learn to do graphics? So outside outside of the previous story that I told you guys and all of my friends being graphic designers, the main way that I taught myself graphic design is self-taught. So like I would watch YouTube tutorials when I first got my MacBook on how to do the tiniest, most insignificant things on Photoshop. Back then, I didn't know that a lot of graphic designers used Illustrator instead of Photoshop. Friends from college, they were all avid Photoshop users. So I started in that software and I didn't know that it was significantly harder to learn than Illustrator, but now it's pretty much all that I use because that was the first software that I learned. So pretty much I would just go onto YouTube and I would type like how to put text in Photoshop, how to do X, Y, and Z in Photoshop, and I would watch like 5 to 10 minute videos of how you do it, and I would just kind of practice as I had clients. So somebody might order something and I would just pretty much watch videos on how to get the project done, and then by the time that I got it done, I would know how to do it. And so now, you know, with the graphic design work that I do now, of course I don't have to watch the tutorials because I've done it so much and I literally do it every single day. But that's pretty much how I learned. Just YouTube, self-taught, practicing, trying different things, playing around with different things. That's pretty much how I learned. You can pretty much learn how to do anything on YouTube these days. I mean, you could probably build a house if you wanted to. How did I start my business? It's kind of just like, I mean, I pretty much just started it. So like I told you guys, my previous employer, she let me go in October because of just like personal differences. So she let me go with her staff, and I kind of just made the decision like, I'm gonna take this serious, I'm gonna discipline myself after it. And it was kind of rough at first because I definitely had bills, and back then I didn't have a car and stuff like I do now, which I actually bought with my business. But back then I was kind of struggling, I was going through a lot, so it wasn't easy. It definitely helped me develop a lot of qualities and fruits of the spirit like faithfulness, persistence, resilience, and things like that. So it wasn't necessarily easy, but I kind of just pushed through. So I would just kind of wake up and be the best version of myself that I could possibly be, and that's like something that I quote to myself every day, is like, just be the best version of me, be the best graphic designer, be the best videographer, the best photographer, the best influencer that I can be today, and let tomorrow worry about itself. So the next one is, can you do a basic iMovie editing or for YouTube or a crash course? So here's the thing, I have never used iMovie in my life. I don't even know where iMovie is on a MacBook. I've never tried to use it. Like I said, I've always used Filmora. Filmora was actually what we used to edit the show In the Loop. So then when I moved over to my own graphic design, of course I just downloaded that software as well. And so that's the software I've pretty much been using since I started YouTube. The only other software that I'm adept in was the basic video editing software on HPs, and that's because I used to use my mom's district laptop to edit like my first 5 or 6 YouTube videos that are on my channel. Ooh, child. Why y'all didn't stop me? But yeah, so that's the software that I had on I had Wondershare Filmora on my HP laptop, and I also downloaded it on my MacBook when I got my MacBook. What inspired your business name? So my business name is Coffee Shop Graphics. So pretty much, I mean, my influencer name is CoffeeCreamGirl. So to me, it just kind of logically made sense that if you get anything from somebody named Coffee Cream, then you probably got it from the coffee shop. I didn't really think too deep into it. Originally, Coffee Shop was gonna be like my boutique name because I was actually thinking about opening up like a coffee melanin inspired boutique line of clothing, and so I was gonna call it the Coffee Shop, which I thought was really cute. But then once I started doing graphic design, I was just like, well, I really like the name Coffee Shop, but I want people to know that it's not an actual coffee shop and that it's not something else. So I just put graphics on it. Media graphics is GPX and mine is GFX. So I just kind of wanted to switch it up. I didn't want it to be the exact same, but I wanted to say that it was graphic so people knew that it was graphic design. But I didn't really think too deep into it. It was kind of just based off of me being Coffee Cream Girl. It was based off of that. How do you network with other graphic artists and keep the relationship cool? So to be honest, I don't know if that's a blessing or not, but a lot of the graphic designers that I've met that are females are just really cool people. Like, we kind of just help each other feel not alone. Like, every graphic designer goes through the exact same things with their clients. Like, you know what I'm saying, the bad responders, the people who want bigger graphic designers work and they want you to copy other people. We pretty much go through the same things with all of our clients, so it's pretty easy. I mean, I really wouldn't know who, I'm not quite sure how I had the relationship. I met Kiera Nelson, the owner of Natural Boss Branding, because she was originally a YouTuber and we met in the HBCU YouTuber group, and then she ended up starting doing graphic design and I started as well. So we kind of had the relationship, and then she's also introduced me to other graphic designers. Honestly, Kiera has put me on to other graphic designers and helped me kind of maintain that relationship. As far as keeping the relationship cool, I would really just say that if a graphic designer has the mindset that there's more than enough clients out here for everybody to eat, for everybody to have a full plate, for everybody to have a fully booked you know what I'm saying, schedule worth of projects, then I think the relationship will always be good. I think the only time that people try to be like snotty or snobby is when they feel like that you're either competition or they feel like that you're competing in that like same pool of clientele. But I think when you legitimately understand that it's enough people out here and it's enough businesses for everybody to have a good clientele base, then the relationship should kind of just stay cool. And then I'll also just say, like, just being open and honest about the process. Like, we tell each other when we're struggling with stuff. We ask each other questions when we're not really sure about a decision. We allow for each other to, we allow for the group meets that we're in to like critique each other and give us pointers and give us knowledge. And so we really just try to pass on what we learn as individuals to the group so that everybody can eat and everybody can thrive. So I think it's just about sharing the knowledge base and not being like competitive driven, and understanding that there's a specific lane for you wherever it is that you're at. The next question is, how do you manage your faith as it relates to content creating for your clients? So if you don't know already, then I'm really big on faith. I personally am a Christian. As far as creating content, it doesn't really play a big role, but as far as like setting the tone for my day, it definitely does. I definitely have to wake up in the morning, and I always try to start my days off with devotionals. I try to start off by reading something, like doing a devotional plan on the Bible app every single day, and then just, you know, getting before the throne of God and asking for him to give me the strength, for him to focus my eyes on what's important for the day, for him to align my steps, for him to, you know what I'm saying, just be there with me to help me create the discipline that will allow for me to be successful, for, you know, just things like peace, for prosperity, for clarity every single day. And I know that that definitely helps me set the tone for the day, to just recenter my mind, recenter my heart, recenter my focus around understanding that I personally feel like God is the one who called me into the entrepreneur lifestyle. Like, I know a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs because they see the glamour and the glitz on Instagram, but it's really a hard thing to do. And like I told you, originally my plan was to be a dentist. I was going to school as a biology major, but now just looking back, I see how much God ordered my steps in order to be where it is now. And so just understanding every single day that I don't have all of the knowledge, that I didn't call myself to this, that this is what I've been called to, and that because of that I don't have to stress and worry about the things that I don't necessarily know. I can just focus on, like I said, being the best version of myself every single day, and it really gives me a peace to know that he's gonna take care of the rest. And so many opportunities that I've been blessed with within the last 9 months that have allowed for me to not have to get another job, to be able to do freelance graphic design full time. So much of that has been a blessing, and I just know that he has ordered my steps in that path. Like, I can't even explain to you guys the doors that have been opened ever since that I just made the decision to be stronger in my faith, to genuinely try to devote myself more to God and be more discerning and more sensitive to his spirit and what it is that he's saying to me on a day-to-day basis. Like, how many pathways have been cleared, how many doors have been opened, how many invitations have been given to me that in places that I know I definitely should not be as a 22-year-old with no degree, did not graduate from college. People in the clientele that I've had the opportunity to work with these last couple of months has definitely not been on my own doing. And so the fact that I've seen so many doors open up it blows my mind every single day that I'm in the place that I am now, and how many blessings have rained down. So because I know that it's not me, it just gives me a peace to know that I don't have to do all the work. In fact, I probably do the little bit. Like, I just manage what he gives me, and I steward over what he gives me, and he kind of does the rest. So that definitely gives me a peace. The last question that I got was, how do you separate branding yourself and just being yourself? So I think that for me personally, in the avenue that I've been taking lately, branding myself has been just being myself. For a really long time, especially throughout high school and college, I shelled off a lot of pieces of me just because of I wanted to be accepted in social groups. Like, I wanted people to like me. I've never really just had a big friend group, and I've never really just been super popular. Even when I was, you know what I'm saying, when I was popping on YouTube or at school when I started my YouTube channel, for some reason people just always had this perception of me that either I was on a high horse or that I was super weird. I don't know how you go from that left to that right, but that's pretty much what people always thought about me. So a lot of my time I would spend like contemplating and wondering what other people would think about me based off of my personal preferences and the things that I like to do and the things that I enjoyed. And so a lot of myself I kind of just shelled off, and I allowed for the parts of myself that I knew people would like and that were talented and gifted to just shine through. And so recently, branding myself, especially on my Instagram, I really just tried to be myself wholeheartedly. I am a nerd wholeheartedly. My mom made me do debate and academic decathlon in high school. I also did debate in college. I've always been super intellectual. I've always loved books. I've always loved like Greek mythology and things of that nature, spirituality, food and stuff like that. So I've really just been pushing myself to be the most authentic version of myself and showcase that on social media. So when I think about branding myself personally in this season that I'm in, it's really just about being authentic. So me branding myself for these last 2 or 3 months has really just been being the most authentic version of Alice that I could possibly be on social media, being transparent about my business life, being transparent about my spiritual life, being transparent about my emotional life, and just everything that I go through in hopes of being able to encourage or inspire one other person that's supposed to be on their journey. And I think that for me personally, that's what puts me on the path every single day. That's what aligns my focus, is knowing that my freedom and my blessings aren't just for me, but it's to inspire and free somebody else. So as far as how do I separate the two, I don't. I try to collaborate the two. I try to be myself while branding myself. And like I said, content creation, creativity, graphic design, videography, and photography has always kind of just been in my heart and in my background. I've always had a love for it, and I've always had a yearning and a passion for it. And so I'm finally in a season where I'm just allowing myself to be that version of myself, that weird, quirky, kind of nerdy version of myself, and showcase that to the world, because I feel like that's kind of what makes me different from other influencers. Like I say that all the time, like, yeah, I know how to do my face and do my hair and stuff like that, but I don't define myself as a beauty influencer, because beauty's not really my first love. I wake up and feel this sense of enthusiasm when a new makeup product drops, and I've been using pretty much the same product since high school, and I've just learned how to use better techniques. But when it comes to tech and buying a new lens or buying a new background, or, you know what I'm saying, buying new lights, like that lights me up inside. Reading a new book, trying a new place to eat, and just exploring myself and pushing myself spiritually to develop, those things light me on fire. Like, so I really just try to showcase that on social media now more than ever, because I feel like that's what separates me from a lot of other people. So that's pretty much that. I'm definitely gonna do another video like this maybe in a year or two when I've reached new levels and defeated new devils, in the hopes of being able to encourage and educate you guys on all of the success that I've had in my personal life, so that you guys can be successful in your own as well. If you're not already, make sure you click that subscribe button underneath this video and subscribe to the Coffee Cream Girl channel. Make sure that you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at CoffeeCreamGirl. Super funny on Twitter, and I love my new content on Instagram. I've been doing this new series, that's why I'm dressed up today, called Tasty Tuesdays, where I explore restaurants in Dallas and give you guys my reviews and my opinions, and, you know, like good places to have brunch and good places to have happy hour within my city. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that on my Instagram. So I'll make sure that I put both of those down below in the description box. Make sure that you like, comment, and share this video with somebody that you love or that's interested in graphic design, as well as comment down below video suggestions that you want to see on my channel. I love hearing from you guys, and I want to know what type of content that you guys want to see from me more often. So if you like this video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up, and if there's something else that you want to know from me or another video that you want to see, just leave it in the comments down below. I'll see you guys on the next Coffee Cream Girl video. Bye. Most irritating clients, for all of my graphic designers that don't necessarily have like a graphic design support group, just to kind of let you know, we're all in the same boat. We all deal with kind of like the same clients, and we deal with like the exact same scenarios, and they get under all of our skin. So you're not weird if this irritates you as a designer and as a client. If you're one of these people, then I mean, yeah, you probably did get on your designer's nerves, but hey, just use this video to learn from it and become a better person. If you're not already, make sure that you subscribe to the Coffee Cream Girl channel. I love to get new subscribers and hear from you guys down in the comments. So if this video makes you laugh, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. As well as if you guys have any new video suggestions that you want for me to make, then make sure you just comment those down below.